We're getting Facebook here. All right, here we go. Hey everybody, it is ladies' night, and hopefully everyone has had a fantastic week to start off with. And happy TS Awareness Month. I hope y'all have your butterfly pins or whatever it is you have and whatever it is you want to do for TS Awareness Month. This year, I think it's going to be fabulous, and I hope that we get a lot of awareness out there this year. So, started off. Okay, sorry, thought I had a comment there. But anyway, so tonight's going to be a very special session. What we're going to do is we're going to talk about the history and the discovery of Turner syndrome. I want us to talk a little bit about the study that Dr. Henry Turner did with the 7 girls. Danielle Brennan, hey girlfriend, hi. You know my signature phrase. So anyway, we're going to talk a little bit about that. And also, if anybody wants to ask questions, I'll be reading the comments to see the questions you guys have about that. So anyway, we're going to start off a little bit about who Dr. Henry Turner was first off, and then we can talk about the study that he did and it led to the discovery of Turner syndrome. Now, Dr. Henry Turner, sorry, I got my notes here tonight, guys. So anyway, Dr. Turner, as you can also tell, my face is kicking in. Dr. Henry Turner was born in 1892 in Illinois, and he started medical school in 1918, and then he started in Louisville, and then by 19, his wife, and 2 kids got to Oklahoma. Now, a lot of us women who have TS know, or people who know the history of TS, Oklahoma University is where he found it. Oklahoma College of Medicine is where Dr. Henry Turner, he was a consulting endocrinologist there. And so what happened, hey. Everybody knows my signature phrase. I love it. So anyway, but Dr. Henry Turner was a consulting endocrinologist at the Oklahoma College of Medicine. Now that's how he found Turner syndrome. What happened was that there were a lot of women, a couple that came in, and they didn't exactly look the same, because obviously not all of us look the same, but a lot of them had the same characteristics, if that makes sense. A lot of the same physical characteristics, such as the webbed neck. The actual study, it doesn't say Turner syndrome. If you look at the actual study, it says, what is it? A study of a syndrome of infantilism, congenital webbed neck, and cubitus valgus, which is the elbow. And that's why a lot of us, I would have to put my drink in front of your camera here, YouTube, and I am going to apologize for that. But anyway, our elbows. A lot of us know that this is the cubitus valgus, where the elbow, we have like that extra bone, it overlaps. So that's why, of course, we can't stick our arms all the way out. And that's why it was called that. And he wrote that study, or it was published in 1938. 1937 was when he did it with 7 women. There was 6 adolescents and 1 adult woman. Now, before a lot of people, and especially I had a few, let's say when I first started doing research on Turner syndrome for the documentary, like almost 2 years ago, when I first started doing research, there was some studies that were trying to insinuate that there was either, and I know that a lot of Turner syndrome women have NVLD, nonverbal learning disorders, but that's not the same, and it definitely isn't MR. If you read Dr. Henry Turner's study, he actually insinuates the fact that there is no MR associated with Turner syndrome. And when we had our live session with Yana Orton Smith back in 2016, she said the same thing. And it was actually I loved doing that live session with her, because she actually got to work at the Oklahoma College of, like, in their psych division. Her dad's a doctor. And anyway, she and I got to talk a lot, and she actually got to meet one of the women that was a part of the study back then, and which was amazing. But anyway, so that was a little bit about how Dr. Henry Turner discovered TS. Now, Dr. Henry Turner, he's known as one of the founding fathers, I guess you could say, of modern endocrinology. Turner syndrome is big discoveries, but he did a lot of other stuff as well. Now, he eventually was appointed clinical emeritus of the medical school there at Oklahoma until 1970 when he passed away. A lot of people, actually everyone who knew Dr. Henry Turner, knew that he was a heavy smoker. And so he actually passed away from that in 1970 in Oklahoma. So, and he did a lot of research, and like I said, it wasn't just Turner syndrome. He did some things with diabetes and some other things. And the 1938 study on Turner syndrome actually got published in the the Endocrine Journal that year, which I thought was pretty cool. But that's a little bit about the history of the discovery of Turner syndrome. So does anyone have any questions? Want to talk about anything that they're doing for TS awareness this month? Share a little bit about your TS story. I would love to invite maybe one of you guys that is watching live. Maybe you could get on and tell us a little bit about your story and how, maybe how your parents told you had TS, maybe some of the experiences you've had having TS. Andrea! Oh my gosh, I just saw that you were watching. Andrea, I love her. And if y'all have not subscribed to the KCTS Diaries, y'all need to go do that, like right now. Those women are wonderful over there. And I enjoy it every time I get to watch them. When I'm not flying or something like that. So, but anyway, so if anyone share their story, just let us know. I might invite you on for our little live session. Hey, I haven't seen you in a while, Faith. Fun fact, I was on growth hormone while it was still in the experimental stage. Me too, back in the early 90s. Michelle Fiore Williams, highlighting professional butterflies and what they are doing with the brief features of the Professional Butterfly Network. Hey, that's awesome. Michelle, do you want to talk about that a little bit? I can invite you, just let you know. Faith, diagnosed at 7. I was diagnosed at birth, but my parents didn't tell me till I was 15. And, I think a lot. And I actually, for some of y'all who knew about my divorce, I started seeing a therapist a little bit after that. And I think it was very good for me. But like I said, my parents didn't tell me until I was 15. And it started a lot of stuff like mentally with me. I lived near Sanford, California, where they did this study with a group of TS girls. So I think I was part of the same group you're talking about. But it was in Alabama. Sure, if you'd like. Michelle, and I'm inviting you, sister, and should be adding you any second. But anyway, so yeah. Faith, how tall are you now? Okay, so Faith, I'm actually 5'1". I know the average height. And even a lot of the research online, it says TS women are usually about 4'6" to 4'10" here. Yeah, you see that? And I think, hey, Michelle!
Hi, how are you?
Good. I miss your face. I miss you. I miss seeing you at conference and everything. Where have you been?
I've been good. I'm in Nashville right now. I'm definitely going to be going to the conference this year. I'm moving back to Louisville, Kentucky, and I'm hoping to continue the Kentucky Turner Syndrome Network up there. We're trying to get something together on the 24th of February, which is the day before my birthday, for a couple of local butterflies to meet up. One of the other things that I'm doing, a while back, I had a Butterfly Network, and it's just a Facebook group for people to kind of talk about some of the issues we deal with at work, and like post job postings that might be good for butterflies to do, because a lot of us have something involved in the social service, like or medical field.
Right.
And so what I tried to do is for Turner Syndrome Awareness Month is to highlight some professionals, and I've got some scheduled for like the next week and all throughout February. It's going to be really cool talking about what people do and how Turner syndrome has helped them in their jobs. It's actually been good for them. Like, there's one coming about someone who's incredibly good at math, which I know is a struggle for people with Turner syndrome. So I'm excited to be able to share her story. And then if anybody else is interested, they can direct message me, and I'd be happy to highlight them too. I could do 2 a day if we get enough.
Oh, okay. So, you're talking about like on a national basis, though, right? You're talking about like nationwide.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the first one I did was somebody from Oklahoma, and tomorrow's somebody from North Carolina. So it's going to be all over the place.
Wow.
Yeah, so some people are doing videos. Like one person is a poet, and she's sharing her poetry. So that's going to be her for how she's doing her feature. It's pretty cool. I'm pretty excited about that.
Yeah. I know. Well, I think I talked about this last week, but just to let everybody know, I'm actually in the middle of working on a YouTube video about the history and discovery of TS. It's gonna be a little vlog. Yeah, right. Like I just said it to everybody, so it's not that big of a secret now.
Right.
But anyway, but no, I think that is so cool because to me, it's part of like us helping each other out. Like we help each other. Like I feel like on an emotional basis and like a mental, like we share our stresses with each other. But our professional lives too. Like I think that's just. This community, it's another way that we get to help our community, and I think that's just so great that you do that.
And I see a lot of the messages that come up, people just really struggling and be very, I don't want to say they're being negative, but there's a lot of things that are sad that people are talking about that's happening to them at work.
Yeah.
I kind of wanted to change that up and do something different and say, look, this is, you can be a thriving professional. There's no reason TS can hold you back. Still have...
Right.
You flight attendant, or things like that. You can still do so many great things. There's actually 2 flight attendants that respond to be featured. So,
wow.
Today, if you're interested, I'll feature you too.
Hey, hey, I will. You know me. I'm obviously not camera shy.
It's been so cool. It's good for me personally and selfishly to be like, oh, I get to hear all these fun stories. Because I'm currently looking for another job myself for when I relocate, and it's just kind of nice tips and just some inspiration from other butterflies.
Right. I mean, and to me, I think that's just so important because, like I said, it's not just like us on a community, but I feel like, especially the older butterflies, I'm a big believer in the older women teaching the younger women. I'm a big believer in that because the thing is like, I feel like, and this just is, it's not just us butterflies, I feel like it's in life general. Like, when you lose your grandparents or your mom, there's wisdom there in the older generation that some of us youngins need to sit down and listen to. There's a reason that some of them have gray hairs, and it's called wisdom.
Right.
But yeah, I'm
trying to do. I have one that, like, the poet, she's still in college, and then the other person that I'm interviewing and I'm going to do toward the end of the month is retired, and she's got words of wisdom for everybody. So I just thought it was cool. It's like all ages, all walks of life. Just it's everybody's so different. And not only in what they do for a living, but how they experience Turner syndrome too.
Exactly.
So I want that, and just kind of make sure that everybody knows. Don't give up hope if you're having a job market because it's just hard.
Yeah.
It's just hard.
It is.
So it's pushing, and if anybody has any ideas or would like to see stuff on that channel, let me know. I'm always watching this.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I'll definitely let you know. And YouTube, you heard it here. Y'all can message me. Y'all got my info there. And I will put you in contact with Miss Michelle. She's the coolest person I know. Oh, obviously, how's married life treating you? Because the last time I saw you.
Yeah, it's awesome. Married life's wonderful. Obviously, I'm having a good time. We're doing the move, so that's hard, but we've been married for a year now, and it's been no regrets.
Yeah.
Forward. And actually, it was my wife that kind of inspired me when we were looking for jobs about a year ago when we moved to Nashville. She was like, and I was telling her, I said, I feel like I have the anxiety that I deal with and some of those things, some of the nonverbal disorder issues that I have. Yeah. I've been thinking, I was explaining this to her. She goes, "Well, you can't be alone. Ask some of your butterfly sisters about this." So that's what did it. You know. And it turned out, questions. It turned out to be all this wealth of knowledge that I hope everybody can use.
Yeah, I mean, and you see, that's something that, when you find a good partner like that, like, can you beat that? No.
No, you can't.
So, well, I'm glad married life is treating you well. Do you mind if I tell just a little bit of your TS story, because to me, I was just like so shocked when
Sure.
You didn't know till you were 19.
I did not know until I was 19, no.
I am...
No idea. My mom and my dad divorced when I was 2, and my dad happened to tell my older sister, who's only like a year and a half older than me, and then she called me on the phone, and I'm standing at my cousin's house, and she tells me this. "Did you know?" I said, "I had no idea." And then from there, it was like a lot of like you're doing. Like, I'm still learning stuff every day. I'm 30 now, and I'm still learning stuff about Turner syndrome every day. It's just amazing to me. And I did spend a lot of time angry, because as some of you got to the benefits of growth hormones and everything like that, by the time I got started, it was too late. My bones were there to be. But I'm 4'10", so I'm not like super short, but I'm still on the short spectrum.
Right.
But I've learned, that's why I said, I'm not going to stay angry. What I'm going to do is turn this into an experience where I can help other people understand, and raise me, go to events, and make sure that people can find this out, and be diagnosed early.
Yeah, because.
And I'm really excited about that. I see parents all the time that are saying, I'm pregnant and I found out that my baby has TS, and that's exciting for me, because it's like, yes, they're figuring out earlier and earlier and earlier.
Yeah, and to me, because even some of the online research in the beginning, a lot of women weren't finding out till they were like 10 or 11.
Right.
And to me, like, I'm so glad now that a lot of people are finding out earlier, because I feel like early intervention is the best thing, because you can go ahead and start on treatment. So, okay, let's do our research, so that way when this time comes, we're informed about it and we know what we want to do. The only thing, I guess, personally, I would like, I don't know if it's caution or like my advice to parents would be, is even when your daughter is young, like, bring her into the treatments. Like, talk about the treatments with her. Like, hey, we're doing growth hormones because we're going to help you get taller. Or, this is what the doctor said, and like the pros and cons. Like, kind of bring her in. Because I feel like I missed that because of my parents. Do you feel like you missed that too?
I do. I feel like I didn't know a lot about my body that I wish I would have. And a lot of the things that I'm dealing with now that I could have at least made a little better at a minimum.
Yeah.
If I been able to understand my body, it would have been a lot less scary to hear things like, "Oh, by the way, you're 19 and become an adult and ready to have a relationship and a family, and you can't.
Yeah.
You can't have children.
Right.
And you spent your whole life thinking, developing this idea of a family in your head." And that, so I think if obviously when you're little, it's too early to have that talk, but gradually leading up to that,
right?
Talking about and mentioning things like, talking about, how wonderful things like adoption and fostering are, and then eventually lead into that conversation. So it makes it a little easier. Talking about options, being able to say, as you're growing up, "No, I don't want to do that," or "Yes, I would definitely try that and do that," and understand it.
Right, yeah, because, like, I mean, for me, well, my parents didn't tell me until I was 15, so by the time I was 15, like, I thought about, like, what girl doesn't think about, like, her wedding day, like, how many kids she wants, like, maybe even thinking of names for her kids, things like that. But, the biggest thing was, my older sister, I will always miss my older sister for this, but my older sister, after my parents told me, I came back to the house, because they took me to a park and they told me. After church, I still remember it. It was a Sunday after church. We get home, and Lydia basically took them back to their bedroom and said, "Either you tell her, or I'm about to tell her. How do you want her to find out?" So they took me to this park, told me I had TS, and told me I couldn't have kids. Well, anyway, I get back to the house, and I'm sitting there, and I'm bawling, I'm crying, and I go and I tell Lydia, "Hey, I have TS," and she was like, "I know, baby." And she said, I was crying and I said, I'm not going to have anybody to call me mommy. And she said, Bethany, think of all those kids out there right now that don't have anyone to call mommy. You're going to make one of them kids very happy, and you're going to be the best mom ever. And, I think that that's the best advice I can give to some of our younger butterflies. And not only that, I love being an aunt. I'm sorry. I've got so many nieces and nephews, and being an aunt is so much fun because they get to come, you get to spoil them, and send them right back home to mommy and daddy.
Mm-hmm. And when I had a conversation with my mom about it initially, she told me, she was like, well, when's the right time to tell somebody that? And she asked me, when would the right? And I said, and I answered that question for anybody that ever asked me. No, there is no right time. It's still going to hurt. It's still going to be upset.
Oh, sorry, you did.
But it's one of those things. It's like just say it. Just and if you have to talk to a professional about how to do it, work with your doctors on it.
Well, you see, your doctors on it. Yeah. Well, I know that you and I are about the same age, mm-hmm. And I know. And Lynette, you were 6 months when you were diagnosed. That is awesome. Yeah, I was diagnosed at birth. But my thing is when we were born, a lot of doctors didn't know about TS. And what my parents were told, I agree. I do not think you should ever keep the diagnosis from the butterfly. Thank you. We got some YouTube comments too. But yeah, so to me, a lot of doctors didn't know that much about it. And my parents, what they were told basically wasn't that hopeful. And if you read that psych report that my parents were given about me, even at 1 and 2 years old, it was basically play music in the house, teach her to tie her shoes, and she'll be happy. They didn't expect much out of me. And now and I didn't speak full sentences till I was about 3 or 4, and I think my mom regrets getting me speech therapy because now I don't shut up. But but yeah, but that was one of the things that she said was back then doctors basically, the reason that they waited so late was doctors were like, we don't know how she's going to take it. And I don't know if the same thing happened with your parents, if they said the same thing, doctors said, don't tell her or something like that, she won't understand.
Well, see, the doctors kind of told my mom, she's past this stage and this stage, she's going to be good. Just monitor from here on out, you'll be okay.
Okay.
So, she thought, why bother? Why go there? You know? And there were a lot of things that symptoms that I have now that she had no idea were even related. And I think some of the things, with bone density and things like that came after, we had those initial conversations in my youth about.
Yeah.
So, and I honestly, I wish that we would do better about helping aging butterflies know about that too. Because I'm learning so much about, oh crap, that first round I didn't have growth hormones, things like that, and now I'm dealing with the bones,
Yeah.
So there's a cycle of life that you have to never ever stop listening to your body, following up on your health. You have to keep going.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, and I've hinted around this, and this is something that I would suggest to my fellow butterflies. Mm-hmm. I mean, yes, there's bone density. I didn't know that I had a heart condition until I was 28. I was almost 29 years old before I had no idea. My mom really didn't tell me much about TS. Basically what she told me was I had TS and gave me this little pamphlet that she got back in 1985. And that was all I knew. I probably should have Googled more and stuff like that when I got older. I didn't know no better. Oh my God, I just sounded so country. Yeah, I'm just your little residential Southern belle, everybody. But no, if I would have known, I would have done more as far as my health and stuff and getting my heart checked out. But I had no idea. I was sitting here having chest pains and these attacks that they would literally knock the wind out of me. Without new guidelines, I would not know exactly what test I need. Most doctors don't either. Exactly. And that's why I tell all butterflies, get your guidelines offline, take it to your doctor. That's the best thing you can do. And you've got to be your own advocate. You have got to be your own advocate. But I didn't know I had the heart condition until I was 28, 29. And it could have killed me. It could have. And that's stuff that you've got to pay attention to. So, it's one of those things that you've got to stay on top of that stuff, and you've got to keep yourself aware. There's bone density stuff, osteopenia. I didn't know about that. Sensory neural hearing loss. I didn't know about that. Hashimoto's thyroiditis. I didn't know about that. There's just so many things that could have happened, and I'm gonna hint around this because I don't know exactly how young our audience is tonight. There's other things that can happen, butterflies, that you need to get checked before you get married. I'll just hint at it that way. So, and I think everyone can kind of get what I'm saying at that. So, but anyway. So, Michelle, thank you so much for joining us tonight. And it has been...
Seems like everyone experiences...
Oh, you're kind of breaking it up. I'm sorry, what'd you say?
What?
Oh, you said everyone's experiences? Sorry.
I didn't say anything.
Oh, okay. It must be, I don't know. It's like kind of crackling up on me.
Everyone's experiencing, so...
Yeah. So,
sorry.
No, it's fine. I think it's my connection. It's just like kind of crackling up. So, but yeah. All right. Well, Michelle, thank you so much for joining us. It's been so great talking to you. I miss you, and I hope I get to see you at conference this year.
You will.
Awesome.
Bye.
Bye. See you later.
Bye.
All right. Thank you, Michelle, for joining us, and I hope everybody enjoyed that. If there's anybody else who might want to share their TS story a little bit, we can talk. Or if you have a question, comment, or say, hey, I'd love to talk to you. And maybe we can invite you on as well to tell your story. Or if you're a TS parent, maybe you want to tell a little bit about your little butterflies experience and maybe give some advice to some of these TS parents that are watching this right now or will be watching this in the future. I feel like it's very important, like Michelle and I were talking about, to really help educate the future generation. And it's sad to me, even though this year it's going to be 80 years since this came out. The study of infantilism, congenital web neck, and cubitus valgus. But anyway, it's 80 years since the first study of Turner syndrome was published. And it's been 81 years since the study started. And I feel like that there's still a lot we don't know about TS. And so anyway, if you want to talk about it, we'll invite you on. If you're on Facebook, YouTube, keep commenting. And I love you guys so much. Thank you so much. And anyway, other than that, we may wrap it up for the night. So, YouTube, Facebook, it's been wonderful. Thank y'all so much. I hope you guys have a happy TS Awareness Month. I'm going to be getting my feet up here in just a minute. Be sharing those Feet Up Friday pics all through the month. And whoever wins, we might be doing a little contest here. But we might be inviting somebody on towards the end of this month to talk about their TS story. Faith, I love these live chats. Thank you. Thank you, Faith. We really love it when you guys join and comment. I love you so much. You need to email me again. So anyway, love you girls. I'll see you later. Make sure you like the Walk for Freedom page if you haven't done it already. They're going to have their walk in October this year. So if you're on Facebook, YouTube videos, viewers, go and like the Walk for Freedom page on Facebook. If not, you can go to tswalk.org. My face is really kicking in tonight, guys, isn't it? And you can follow us there or follow them there and get all the information. We will be seeing you guys at the conference this year in Arlington, Virginia. I'm so excited because I'm only about 5 hours away. And not only that, but being a flight attendant, I kind of get free flights. But anyway, so guys, have a good night. Love you guys. Get your feet up. Get your wrists up this month on Wednesday. Get your feet up on Fridays. And let's spread some awareness. Bye, guys.